So Ron, we are in the world famous, where are we, Ron?
We are in the printing area.
And this is world famous because we take everybody here. It's as important as our bathroom because the way the printing room is set up is magical, and you can meet Graham here. Graham is going to show you why it's so magical. So Graham, it's all yours.
Okay, so first let's look at the big picture. So we have a lot of products that we produce in-house.
Okay.
All those products have stickers, inserts, different packaging methods. And the way that we used to do it is we actually used to outsource all of that. So we would design the artwork, we'd send it to some printing house, and they'd come back with 10, 20,000 labels. Now this might have been a new product, something that we were testing in the market. So the problem with that was we had massive amounts of inventory.
Okay.
And products would change before we were out of inventory, so there was a lot of waste in that we were throwing them away. We were advertising things that were irrelevant.
Right.
Old packaging, our branding is constantly evolving, and we were trying to develop a corporate image. That's hard to do when you're getting 20,000 inserts at a time, and that takes you 2 years to go through.
Okay.
So we decided that we would take the lean approach and we would print just what we needed.
Right.
So our first step to do that was to get a copier. Anybody who has ever run one of these copiers knows what a nightmare it is. And when we have 640 different jobs that we run through this. So different inserts and stickers and things like that. They're all done on different paper with different numbers of labels, different thicknesses, and printers are finicky.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
so what happened is we had 2 full-time graphic designers. One of them spent 4 hours a day, half their work week, babysitting the copier, making sure, because people that didn't know how to run it would come up, it would jam, they'd leave it jammed, paper wouldn't print oriented correctly, different things like that. So what we needed to do was develop a process to where the process was the expert that would free up the person to go do higher work.
Okay.
So there was a few things that had to come together for that to happen. First off, we got this giant printer, so it's really intimidating for somebody to come up and look at this. I mean, this thing costs as much as a Ferrari and is just as scary.
Okay.
So we had to come up with a few things. The first thing that we had to do, which we have throughout our facility, is we had to come up with a good Kanban card. And that's what this is right here. So a lot of Kanban cards, Kanban just means signal.
Yeah.
And a lot of Kanban cards are really convoluted with information. We wanted to make ours really simple so that people wouldn't have to be an expert at reading Kanban cards to know what this meant.
Right.
So we only needed a couple things. We need to run this printer, you only need to know a couple things. You need to know what you need to print, you need to know what kind of paper it goes on, and you need to know how many to print.
Okay.
So that was the only information we put on the Kanban card. But the second problem we had is we need to come up with an easy way for people to find their paper, because with paper, let me show you over here. We've got about 50 different kinds of paper spread around these 3 racks.
Okay.
And it gets really confusing when you're trying to look for an OL250WX 4" by 1.5" RC 12 up label per sheet.
Yeah.
I mean, who's going to remember that? So instead, we took that Kanban card and we made it read like an Excel spreadsheet, which everybody knows how to use. It's also the basis of our entire inventory system in the building. So we went off the rows and columns, essentially.
Okay.
So when you're looking for your paper, you're going to look for rack 1, row 4. So all our inventory goes from the bottom. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and column number 3, 1, 2, 3. So you know instantly where your paper is. Rack 1, row 4, column 3. You don't need to know any other information than that. And also, we were able to program in the quantity into the printer, so you don't even have to count your labels. You just open this up, grab a stack, and the process is you pull this out so you know where to put it back. So you grab a stack, and then you're ready to go. So the next step is we have to put our paper in the printer.
Okay.
So if you're looking at this giant 12-foot wall of doors and trays, probably your first question is going to be,
Where to put it?
where does the paper go?
Yeah.
So we put the answer right when you're asking the question. So you're looking at this, where does the paper go? Where do you think it goes?
Labels and paper go here.
There you go. All right, so we're going to open that tray up. Okay, now the next question is always going to be, okay, anyone who's ever printed labels in a printer is like, okay, do the labels go up? Do they go down? Do they go this way? Do they go this way?
Yep.
So we put all the answers to the questions
Yep, label
right
side
in
up.
here in the
Okay.
tray with pictures, words, everything.
Got it.
So we wanted to make this so anytime you're asking a question, the answer was right in front of your face.
Got it.
So we're just going to open this up, put our labels in, label side up, make all the guides snug. Now we're ready to go. Close the tray. Pretty simple so far, right?
Yeah.
Okay, next step, we're gonna go back over here to the screen and our Kanban card. So then our next step is we just have to find our item title here in our alphabetized list. Okay. So again, you're gonna look at the screen, you're gonna say, how the heck do I start finding this? We put the answers to the questions right here, right where you're asking the question, and not only that, but right next to where you need to click on the screen. So step one, click your archive tab. Boom, it's right there. So it's 3 inches from the point right there.
Yep.
Step number 2, find what you're gonna print. In this case, hole punch kit UPC. So I'm gonna scroll up on this alphabetized list, hole punch kit UPC. So you can see it matches exactly with what's on the card here. And we even give a backup of the paper location right here, just in case that this gets lost. We're not wasting paper trying to figure out where it goes.
Yes.
Step 3, we're gonna click print. The print button's right there. Boom. We're all done. The printer knows everything it needs to do. It knows the orientation. It knows how many labels are there, how many to print. So it's just gonna warm up and print. Takes a couple minutes, and then you're on your way.
One question I had is how did you know how much paper to grab, or how many labels to grab out of the thing, or do you?
Well, the beauty of this system is that the quantity of labels to print is pre-programmed into the printer.
Okay.
So it doesn't really matter. You can just grab the whole stack, throw it in there, it'll print. When you're done, you just clear your tray, and that's why we pull out the paper like that, so that you know
you leave it
exactly
out.
where it goes back.
So you'll double check the tray.
Right, that's
Yeah.
right. Well, the process is you grab a stack of paper, and then you just put the paper back.
I see.
So, and we put the process from start to finish right here in written instructions. We have answers to the questions along the way. And then if that's not enough, we also have a full video tutorial, which is about 3 minutes long, where someone can watch a little brush up here. Really handsome guy did all the acting. It's me. So this walks you through every single step. So the beauty of this system is we made the process the expert.
Yeah.
I used to be the expert. I used to have to spend a lot of time
Explaining.
fixing this. I had all the specialized information in my head. I want to give that away so that I can go do things that only I can do.
Right.
Because since I got rid of this headache, I can go tackle some other things and improve a lot of other processes. And you know, another thing is I think that makes a lot of people uncomfortable to develop a process where you give away your expertise.
Yeah.
But, you know, you would think that, okay, I gave away all my knowledge, now I don't have any knowledge,
Why do
I'm
they
not
need me?
specialized,
Yeah.
they're gonna axe me. But the point is that you don't develop this process and then go sit at your desk with nothing to do.
Right.
Now I can go improve a lot of other processes. I can improve myself.
Yeah.
I can make my work better quality.
Yeah.
I can slow down a little bit and relax a little bit more and
Yeah.
put a little bit more thought into what I'm doing.
Right.
So here's our labels right here. Exactly 4 printed out perfectly.
Okay.
So then the last step of our process here is we have our Kanban quantity right here. That's where you're going to put your Kanban card in. So one sheet, boom, we're done. And the reason why we do that is that so when somebody's pieceworking and building this, they're not going to run out of labels before they need to print. So if it's a tag team kind of thing, one person can go print the labels, the other person can still keep working, and this will give them about enough time to go print the labels and come back, so there won't be any interruption in flow.
Love it.
So that's
Fantastic.
about it. Any questions?
Yeah. So how long have you worked at FastCap?
I've worked here, I think I'm in my 7th year.
7th year.
Yeah, started on the floor and now I do graphics and marketing.
Yeah. What's your favorite part of working here?
My favorite part is actually doing lean and making my job easier.
Yeah.
As my job is a lot easier now than the day I started, and my job is a lot easier now than 6 months ago.
Yeah.
And I know the cool thing is that when I know that the things that I improve and the things that I do today, 6 months from now, my job's going to be a walk in the park. I'm just going to come in. Everything's going to be. My goal is that I'm going to come in and everything's going to do itself.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to make sure everything runs better, and I'm going to improve everything else.
Yeah.
And it's getting to that point. It's really cool. So
Yeah.
I can now I'm able to put in my department quality like we've never had. Consistency in the brand, better quality images. Just the quality of work is going. And my stress level's going down.
What was your last 2-second improvement that you made?
You know, I just did one right before you guys came. So you see this laptop, it's always plugged in, but we've got a problem in that there's a disconnect in the machine right here. This cord sometimes falls in between here. The paper, as it's coming through the machine, hits the cord and the thing stops. So what I did is I took a little piece of our product called Fast Edge. It's a peel and stick edge banding.
Yeah.
I just put this right back here to block that off, so now the cord can't go back in there. So
Brilliant.
that problem's gone.
Brilliant.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah, you bet.
Thank you.
Yeah, you bet.
Where do you get these guys, man?
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.